In such a technologically advanced society, access to educational resources has never been easier. But what happens if you don't have internet connection? Or worse, the internet is slow. This is sometimes what it's like for those students who live in rural or remote parts of Australia.
So, to what degree does access to technology disadvantage students in rural schools? And what solutions have been put forward to address this?
Australia is one of the most developed countries in the world. Access to technology should not be an issue. Through school, every student has the right to access and use well-functioning technology to improve their education.
Sadly, this is not the case.
Students who live in rural or remote parts of Australia do not have the same opportunity or access to technology as those who live in urban locations. Needs of these students are very diverse depending on where they live, but most commonly issues of unreliable ICT equipment, slow internet connection, and, simply put, isolation are issues which prevent technology from being easily accessible.
Unreliable or lack of ICT equipment is an issue which puts students from schools in rural or remote areas a step back from everyone else. Slow and unstable internet connection can lead to loss of class and learning time for these students. Without internet access, students can not broaden their knowledge of the world outside their community, thus resulting in a greater educational divide.
Students who partake in online education are frustrated with the lack of connection stability to contact others taking the same subject and to do research for their class.
The teachers need to know how to use the devices and how to teach technological skill in order for the students to learn. After recognising this, the Australian government suggested that high-quality professional development, PD, was needed to help teachers continuously improve and maintain their teaching practice. This allows for teachers to have access to training which enables them to use technology in the classroom. Now that we have an understanding of our educational outlook, we need to dive into the actual numbers. Understanding these figures as well as the information will help us find solutions to start building a bridge over the education gap.
87% of South Australian students have access to computer-based resources at school, and only 59% have access to a computer at home. This is in comparison to the 94% of school access and the 66% of home access that New South Wales students have. It's not too far of a conclusion to reach that students in these lower percentage states, a la more distant and rural, suffer from a disadvantage that the other, more urbanised states do not experience.
Technology provided in rural and remote schools and their communities needs to be accessible, be of high quality, reliable, and also affordable. So what steps do we need to take to reach this goal?
Already, there have been multiple programs to close the technological gap.
One attempted solution was the digital revolution of the 2007 Labor government, which aimed to provide and fund laptops for secondary school students from years 9 to 12.
Overall, approximately 2,500 schools received laptops. This improved the laptop to student ratio from 1 to 8 to 1 to 2. However, due to issues arising with the devices themselves and funding to name a few, the program was discontinued in 2013.
Since 2009, the National Broadband Network has been developed to deliver access to fast broadband everywhere in Australia, no matter where they live. It will provide homes in rural and remote areas of Australia with better access to distance education and fast broadband at an affordable price.
To further implement technology in government schools across Australia, we need to focus on a few main points: funding, internet access, technological support, and also to make sure computers are accessible to those in rural locations.
Inspired by a program in Arkansas, we divided a solution to bring technology to remote areas, literally through a technology bus.
With the walls lined with monitors and computers, access to devices couldn't be simpler. Also, with a Wi-Fi modem present in the bus, internet access is everywhere.
Just by looking at the level of technological accessibility that each state has within its schools, it's clear that rural schools are suffering at a disadvantage in comparison to their urban counterparts.
Although there have been solutions put forward to close this technological divide, they haven't all been successful. The training course for teachers and the technology bus are possible foundations for continuous development of plans to bridge this gap.
Further development and applications of these programs may continue to help reduce technological disadvantage in rural locations, making every student a happy little Vegemite.